I felt like my heart was pounding straight through my ribs. The hotel suite door burst open, but it wasn't my husband stepping inside. A figure clad in all black strode directly to the wardrobe where I was concealed. He fixed a chilling stare on me and murmured, "Decide. Yell out now and suffer a drawn-out death from your husband's schemes, or stay silent and team up in my scheme to ruin him." I never dreamed my honeymoon would spiral like this. Poetic, right? Right now, I challenge you to drop in the comments which town you're viewing this from. Hit that like button and subscribe to help the channel expand so I can deliver more gripping tales. What you don't realize is that beyond this casual opener hides Layla's private nightmare. The ceremony had been as grand as it was draining. The ballroom of the upscale resort, bustling hours ago with scores of attendees, glittering pendant lights, and endless toasts and cheers, now stood empty. In the honeymoon suite, an eerie quiet prevailed. Layla posed before a towering full-length mirror draped in a pearl-white bridal dress with a veil of delicate tulle flowing down her back. She drew in a steady breath, attempting to steady her fluttering pulse. This was, she told herself repeatedly, the pinnacle day of her existence. She had at last wed Darius, the man who over the past 2 years had been her anchor after she lost her parents and inherited the Thorn Empire holdings. She idly traced the platinum band gleaming on her finger. She grinned, recalling the instant that morning when Darius vowed, "I do," with a steady, assured tone. To her, he was flawless, cultured, caring, a devout soul, and diligent, the ultimate companion for life. And furthermore, the ideal ally to keep steering the firm her deceased father, Elias Thorn, had bequeathed her. Layla felt like the most fortunate woman of color on earth. She surveyed the space. Scarlet orchid petals strewn across the massive canopy bed, scented candles flickering in the nooks, a tender glow permeating the atmosphere. Abruptly, a whimsical notion hit her. Darius was below in the foyer, handling departures for some kin lodging at the resort. It was the ideal chance to set up a small shock. She didn't wish to await him perched on the bed like a typical newlywed. She yearned to watch him search for her, puzzled. Suppressing a chuckle, she bunched the bulky material of her gown and padded softly to the expansive fitted wardrobe in the alcove. It was a roomy dressing area, ample enough for her to tuck behind the lineup of tailored blazers and dresses. Gingerly, she wedged amid the garments, hunched slightly, and drew the panels closed, leaving a mere slit to spy through. Her pulse raced, not from dread, but from the excitement of picturing Darius's expression upon not spotting her. She envisioned him entering, summoning her name, perhaps somewhat worried, and her springing from the wardrobe to embrace him from afar. She held her air, sharpened her hearing, and lingered in the shadows. Moments of hush elapsed. At last, she caught the faint chime of the access card inserting into the slot, the snap of the latch, the noise of the knob rotating. Lila beamed in her nook and geared up to pounce. Footfalls echoed inbound, resolute paces on the tiled entry that dulled as they met the soft rug. She counted inwardly to 3, poised to bound, but stiffened right away. Via the slim gap in the wardrobe panel, she glimpsed the individual who had just arrived. It wasn't Darius. The intruder was attired wholly in black, denim jacket, shadowed pants, a snug beanie masking half his visage. His build was sturdy, wide-framed, yet his stance didn't align with her spouse's. A shiver coursed down Lila's backbone. Was it a burglar? Someone set to harm her? She clamped her palms over her mouth to stifle a cry, hoping the outsider would snag a trinket from the dresser and depart sans detecting her. Yet her wishes crumbled when the man bypassed the bed or the bureau. He sealed the entrance serenely, fastened the bolt, and then proceeded in a direct path to the wardrobe, sheltering her, with a surety that iced her veins. His gaze appeared to bore through the timber, as though he knew precisely her location. Lila quivered. Tears of terror clouded her sight. When the man's grip yanked the panels and flung them apart, she shrank until she struck the rear of the wardrobe, primed to shriek. He lifted a forefinger to his mouth, demanding quiet. Beneath the inner glow, his countenance emerged, rugged traits, a defined chin, rich ebony complexion, and a faint mark on his right brow. His name was Kale, though Lila didn't know it yet. He bore no blade or firearm. The sole item he clutched was a cell phone. He regarded her with pressing iciness, devoid of desire or needless malice. Wordlessly, he drew the phone display near her face and tapped play on an audio clip. The sound was cranked high. The voice emanating from the device rang as near as if its speaker were present. And it was a voice Lila recognized all too well. Darius's voice, the man who mere hours prior had pledged her undying affection at the vows. In the soundbite, Darius was heard chuckling in a manner she had never witnessed, a scornful, nearly vicious guffaw. Then he talked. He stated he was at last wedded, that he nearly retched from faking such tenderness and loyalty for 2 years, that he was weary of acting the ideal guy to earn that lady's faith. The clip went on. Darius admitted he had mimicked being accountable, timely at temple, mindful of the teachings, solely to appear fine before her and the circle. Another voice cut in, feminine, silky, and known. Nia, the youthful lady he had ever presented as his remote kin, an orphaned gal he was allegedly aiding. Her pitch in the clip was teasing and alluring, so unlike the meek politeness she displayed to Lila. Nia urged him for endurance, noting it was all for their shared tomorrow. Then, Darius, with a frosty and scheming tone, outlined his actual scheme. Now that Layla was his spouse, the funds would be at his grasp too. In 3 months, he intended to shatter her mentally. He would leverage the truth that her mother, Sophia, had perished from acute melancholy to persuade the globe that Layla had inherited identical insanity. Layla listened, incapable of stirring a limb, as Darius schemed to spike her beverages with substances to induce visions, anxiety fits, and unpredictable conduct. His aim was to have her deemed unfit to helm the firm, gain authority over all, siphon the Thorn funds, sever ties with her, and confine her in a mental asylum. Thereafter, he declared he would escape with Nia to relish luxury in Asia. Layla's reality crumbled that moment. Her knees buckled, and she collapsed amid the heaps of footwear at the wardrobe's base. Her complexion blanched like a burial cloth. Each phrase of the sound was a dagger to the core. Darius, her mate, the one she relied on utmost, was a fiend. Nia, whom she had regarded as kin, was his paramour and partner. Naught had been chance. It was a precise plot to obliterate her. Call halted the sound just as the harsh mirth of the duo resumed. He stowed the phone in his coat and gazed down at Layla, who wept mutely, racked by torment. He knelt to match her height sans contact, honoring the gap, but with a resolute stare. At that instant, footfalls sounded in the corridor, a tune whistling merrily. It was Darius's genuine voice returning from the desk. The knob of the primary entrance shifted, but the lock barred it from swinging wide. "Honey, why's this bolted internally? You undressing?" Darius inquired from beyond, with that endearing timbre that once made Layla's heart skip and now resembled a viper's rasp. Call met her eyes and breathed, scarcely shifting his mouth. "You got 2 paths. 1, holler now, stir a ruckus, and face him this instant. But sans solid evidence prepped and your wits frayed, he'll twist it against you. He'll claim the clip's bogus, that you're frenzied from the nuptial strain. His plot to paint you mad kicks off tonight, and it'll end you gradually." He paused shortly as Darius hailed again, this round a tad louder, yet still tolerant. "Second path. You hush, dry those eyes, exit this wardrobe, and act as if zilch occurred. You engage his ploy, but our style. Tonight you'll be the flawless wife he anticipates. You make him think he's triumphed while I aid you gear the retaliation. We'll dismantle him steadily with the identical ruthlessness he earmarked for you. Pick Layla, yell and fail, or mute and triumph." She eyed him with swollen lids, speechless. Amid the agony, a flicker of fury sparked. She recalled her folks, the enterprise forged on her dad's toil, the honor of the Thorn lineage. She couldn't permit a schemer like Darius to seize it all. She inhaled deeply, smeared her tears with her sleeve, and assented. She opted to battle. Layla mustered her resolve. Kale gestured to the washroom entry, indicating her to rinse her face to mask the sobs. Noiselessly, he glided to the veranda door, veiled by thick curtains. Prior to vanishing, he cast her a final glance. "Stay tough," his gaze conveyed. Layla entered the washroom, cranked the tap to max to drown any sound, and doused her face repeatedly with chill water. The jolt aided her reclaim poise. She peered in the glass, a vulnerable young lady with puffy eyes. She snatched cosmetics from her pouch, concealed the tear streaks, and respired profoundly. "I can manage this. For Mom, for Dad, I'll be the top performer tonight." she vowed to her reflection. When the flow ceased, she returned to the chamber, traversed the area, and neared the portal. With a palm still quaking, she unlatched the bolt and swung it open. Darius loomed there, beaming widely, still pristine in his suit. To outsiders, he was the epitome of the ideal in-law. "Apologies, darling, I was in the washroom. Missed your rap," she uttered, compelling a weary timbre instead of one shattered by grief. Darius stepped in, shut the door after, and enveloped her zealously. "Oh, that explains. I figured you dozed off on me, love. And no more barring me out, okay? We're wed now," he jested with a snicker. The aroma of his pricey scent, once enchanting, now churned her gut. The hold where she once felt secure now smothered her like a steel bind. Layla permitted him to encircle her, but her limbs dangled slack. She couldn't reciprocate. Darius, egocentric, overlooked her rigidity. "You trembling? Chilly?" he queried, grazing her face with his palm. The touch made her flesh creep with disgust. "The cooling's cranked high, is all," she fibbed, mustering a faint grin. She retreated with the pretext of fetching liquid. Darius concurred sympathetically. "Rest on the couch a moment. I'm going to change. This outfit's killing me. Been sweltering since dawn," he stated, directing to the wardrobe where his bride had concealed mere minutes prior. Layla's pulse surged anew, witnessing him part the panels, but no hint of Cale within. She eyed the veranda. The drape fluttered mildly by a fissure in the pane door, a clue that Cale had fled that route. As Darius shed his blazer facing away, Layla perched on the couch, simulating apathy. Her eyes drifted unwittingly to the side table. There, display up, Darius's phone illuminated. A fresh message arrived. She glanced at Darius. He remained averted, rummaging for a comfy top. Layla inclined slightly to scan the alert. She sensed time halt on the screen. The sender was labeled Nia Kin, but the text was far from kin-like. "Nail the act tonight, hun. Remember your supplements for endurance. Tough night ahead. Adore you." The terms hun, night, and the crimson heart symbol struck like a mallet. It was the ocular proof that cemented what she'd absorbed in the clip. No space for skepticism. Her union was a sham. Darius's sobs, proposing at her mom's tomb? Drama! Layla clutched the cloth of her gown so fiercely her joints paled. She sensed the wrath seething, but recalled Cale's caution, mute and triumph. When Darius pivoted, now in a T, he spotted her by the phone and scowled. "Issue, dear? Call come?" he probed, advancing to snatch the device. She lifted her gaze with her finest, guileless look. "Nah, it flashed briefly, probably the kin chat," she responded steadily. Darius inspected the display. Layla noticed his mouth arc in a scarce covert smirk as he perused Nia's note before securing the screen and pocketing it. "Yep, you know my relatives, spamming congrats nonstop," he ad-libbed, settling beside her and draping his limb over her shoulders. The evening stretched endless. Layla endured Darius's affectionate phrases on their getaway, his visions for tomorrow, his oaths of boundless devotion. Each "I adore you" rang empty and vile. She pled off, citing her period commenced and she was drained from the extended day, evading the closeness he sought. Darius appeared somewhat let down, but sustained his guise of the compassionate mate. "No fret, my empress. We got eternity to unite. Sleep well," he cooed, pecking her brow. When he at last dozed, breathing evenly, Layla stayed alert, fixating the roof, eyes agape. She faced away from Darius, and the tears resumed flowing quietly. In the dim, she probed amid the couch pads. Before departing, she had noticed Cale tuck something there. Her digits contacted a tiny Sturf card. It was a dark calling card, plain with gold script. Cale Vaughn, private detective, and a contact number, no emblem, no firm title. At daybreak, as Darius whistled in the bath, Layla sealed herself quietly in the fitted wardrobe, extracted the card, and eyed it. Her reflection's eyes no longer resembled a coddled lass. They had gained a fresh edge. The innocent girl had perished the prior eve.
Slain by deceit, what lingered was a lady primed to clash. With shaky yet resolute hands, she grabbed her own device, input the digits from the card, and messaged, "This is Layla. Show me how to crush them. I want them to ache beyond belief." She dispatched, then erased the exchange. She emerged from the wardrobe with chin raised. The battle had commenced. A week elapsed since that eve had morphed her getaway into torment. To outsiders, Layla and Darius's bond appeared flawless. Ideal snapshots surfaced on feeds, loving touches, intimate lunches. Within the kin estate in Midtown, though, a deliberate charade unfolded. Layla had evolved into a masterful performer. Each morn she beamed warmly at the guy she truly wished to toxin. She permitted Darius to stroke her, to dub her My Empress, while inwardly she amassed a loathing that morphed into propellant for her resolve. That dawn, the sun drenched the breakfast nook in amber glow, but the vibe felt glacial to her. Darius wolfed the meal crafted by the help with zeal. Layla, facing a dish of fruit, merely toyed with her fork. Darius set his utensils and eyed her with sham warmth. "What's up, love? You've scarcely nibbled lately. Still fretting the firm?" he questioned, extending to clasp her palm. She felt queasy at the touch, but compelled herself to uphold the act. "Yeah, constant migraines, drained from all the docs on Dad's legacy. It's overwhelming," she whined with a frail tone, meticulously practiced with Cale. Darius grinned with a glee so faint it nearly escaped notice, but Layla spied it. "Told you not to push so hard. Your psyche first, sweetie. Recall how your ma began? Those headaches, the fret? Don't want you whining like her," he uttered, evoking the recall of the lady Layla cherished most to bolster his plot. She had to gulp the fury of hearing her mom, Sophia's, name wielded as a ploy tool. She bowed her head and assented feebly. "I get it. Terrified of mirroring mom," she breathed, nurturing the tale Darius required to accept. Midday, she sought leave to visit the spa to unwind. Darius not only approved, but lauded it as a marker she was turning to trivial pursuits. Leela, however, had a different meat. She hailed a ride, swapped cars midway to confirm no tail, and reached a modest, unassuming diner on the city's fringe. At the dimmest booth in the rear, Cale awaited in a hat and striped tee. No warm welcomes. She scarcely seated before he slid a bulky craft folder across the table. "Here's the outcome of the extra probe you requested," he voiced in a subdued, restrained timbre. "I examined the alleged boating mishap your dad died in a year back. Authorities shut it as engine fault, but my instinct said different." Layla eyed the folder with quivering palms, opened it gradually, and extracted multiple shots of her dad's wrecked yacht, trailed by financial logs. Cale indicated certain entries with his digit. "These are wires done 2 days pre-mishap. From a private account of Darius's to a fellow named Jamal, an ex-engineer with priors. Note the sum, $50,000. Right when Darius had a crypto trading loss of nearly $300K due soon, Layla masked her mouth in shock, viewing the timelines and figure. "You mean Darius rigged my dad's engine?" she mumbled, near voiceless. Cale assented. "Your dad declined to front him cash for his trades. Darius panicked. Creditors hunted him. Removing your dad and wetting you quick was the prime route to tap the wealth and firm helm. He's not merely a deceiver and fraudster, Layla. He's a killer," Cale declared, sans flourish. Tears surged anew. This round blended with ire so fierce her torso ached. The guy she bet nightly had orchestrated his own father-in-law's demise. She balled her fist so tight her nails pierced her skin. "Gonna end him," she hissed with venom. "Gonna end him myself." "No," Cale interjected promptly, eyeing her strictly. "If you slay him, you land in lockup. Nia feigns innocent and savors what you forfeit. There's a fate harsher than swift death. Let him forfeit liberty, prestige, funds, and clout. Let him decay in jail eternally. That's equity.
Layla swiped her tears sharply, drew air, and let the notion root. You're correct. Death's too simple for him. He must endure his own abyss. That identical eve, homebound, a fresh ordeal loomed. She discovered Darius in the den, lounging on her late mom's cherished settee, flanked by Nia. Spotting that lady in her abode, grinning with phony humility, precisely where her mom used to knit, nodded her innards. Darius rose with an overdone joyful mien. Love, you're back. See, recall Nia, the far kin, at the vows. She lost her flat over rent woes. Alone here. I offered her crash space briefly. Place is vast. Spare rooms galore, he clarified, as if performing benevolence. Nia rose with a beseeching pose. So sorry to intrude, Lila. Don't want a burden. Darius is my sole kin nearby. Nowhere else, she voiced with that dulcet timbre so misleading. Lila scrutinized her youthful, attractive, attire a touch snug, but feigning demure. Behind that pure facade, she could discern the serpent. She compelled a cordial beam. Nonsense, Nia. Stay. You're kin. Settle in. Nice having chat buddy when Darius offices. We can bond. She retorted with a flawlessly amiable pitch. Darius and Nia swapped a swift glance, eased by what they deemed gullible assent. They didn't fathom Lila truly felt advantaged. Enemy under roof eased surveillance. That eve, as Darius and Nia bantered on the deck, Lila crept into the office and den. She drew several minuscule pin-like cams Kale supplied from her bag and affixed them in key locales behind a portrait in the den, amid shelves in the office, by the pantry cupboard, all linked to a disposable phone she stashed in her quarters pre-slumber. Now solo, she scanned the cam app. The pantry view popped crisp on her display. There was Darius brewing infusion, the nightly brew she favored. Lila witnessed him scan warily, extract a tiny pouch from his coat, and dump a pale dust into her mug, mixing till dissolved. His visage, distant from loving, displayed chill and focus. Lila captured the segment and stored it. It was the initial stark evidence of tanking. She eyed the display with a novel chill. Brew your venom, Darius, but zero will touch me, she affirmed inwardly. The hushed conflict in that estate had just been proclaimed. Next morn, Darius invaded the quarters with a platter, a hot mug, and biscuits. He set all with staged finesse on the bedside. Morning, my stunning bride, he saluted, perching on the mattress and caressing her limb. Whipped up special brew. Formula from a doc pal. Said it soothes nerves, wards melancholy and tension. Don't want you like your ma, he appended, deploying Sophia as armament once more. Lila quashed the impulse to hurl the fluid at him. She rose leisurely, mimicking weariness. Thanks, so thoughtful, she replied, grasping the mug. The warmth penetrated the china, but her core was iced. She sniffed the scent. Behind the chamomile's fragrance, she sensed a synthetic hint, almost undetectable, that others might miss. Darius observed her fixedly, waiting the mix descend her gullet. She knew refusal sparked doubt, needed to mimic. She brushed the mug to her lips and faked a tiny gulp. Then she hacked as if scorched. Ow! Scolding, she griped, shifting it aside. Easy, sweetie, he voiced, a bit edgy under the worry veil. Then his mobile chimed on the vanity. Darius spun instinctively to check. In that short span, Lila angled the mug toward a big ficus, a rubber tree beside the bed, and emptied most contents onto the dirt and pebbles. The fluid soaked in.
Sans event mark. When Darius refaced, she was concluding a swallow mime. Then she placed it on the platter vacant, bar a bit residue. Odd flavor, kinda sharp, she noted, nearly taunting. Darius beamed, eased by the seeming empty mug. Standard. Potent herbs always tart. You'll adapt. Now bathe. Shareholder huddled today. Gotta shine, Darius recalled. He banked on the substance activating amid that huddle, so Lila seemed muddled and off-kilter before backers. She resolved to deliver precisely the spectacle he awaited, but her reins. From that day, she commenced meticulously crafting the persona of a lady unraveling. Before Nia, she faked misplacing items, addressed her as the maid's name, and begged pardon with a baffled expression.
3 days on, at supper, she deliberately toppled her dish to the tile and wailed in fright, asserting she spied a dark silhouette in the nook of the nook. The shattered crockery, the wail, her sobs all mimicked a meltdown. Darius and Nia performed impeccably. They faked concern, soothed her, escorted to bed, but once her back turned, they traded smug grins. "The chem's hitting quicker than planned," Darius murmured to Nia, sure none overheard. Parallel to the drama, Lila persisted with her core quest. Ka'il furnished more data. Nia maintained a dated flat in another's title, housing a vault with vital docs, phony visas, true IDs, and certs for a civil union between Darius and Nia, done 2 years earlier. It was evidence the tie with Lila was deceit from outset. On Friday, Nia declared salon day full. Darius had a tennis match with associates. Truly, a decoy session Ka'il arranged to occupy him. Lila simulated a headache and vowed home rest. Soon as Nia's vehicle passed the barrier, she swapped garb swift. Snug, dark attire, hat, face cover. She exited via rear, where a cab Ka'il booked idled. The trek to the complex seemed perpetual. Her debut overt unlawful deed, invading another's abode, she disregarded. For equity, she was set to breach Downs. Courtesy a duplicate fob Ka'il procured, she accessed the structure sans hitch. Nia's unit was on the 12th level, hushed and musty. She unlocked stealthy, ignited a mini-beam, and headed direct to the sleep area, per Ka'il's exact directives. Behind a fitted cabinet, amid vintage garb, she located the steel vault. She withdrew a compact gadget, a pin breaker, and set it over the pad. The numerals on the tools panel began cycling, probing codes. 1 minute. 2. Icy perspiration trickled her brow. "Hurry, hurry," she breathed to self. At last, a green glow ignited and the hatch unlocked. Within were bundles of bills, gems, and crucially, a translucent dossier with papers. Lila parted it. Visas with Darius's image but alias Jackson, a bogus ID, and a civil union cert between Darius and Nia, timed 2 years past, well before he proposed to Lila. It was explosive. She snapped pics of all with her device and stowed originals in her satchel. She was prepping to bolt when she caught the chime of the entry unlocking. Someone carted in. Her core iced. It was Nia. She overheard her griping on call. Moaning the spa shut for repairs and informing Darius, she detoured to her prior spot for garb. The steps neared the sleep area. No window egress. It was locked and drop lethal. Sole choice was the cabinet. Lila sealed the vault, restored seeming order, and entered the cabinet's other section, concealing behind coat stacks. She drew the panels near full, leaving a tiny gap. Terror swathed her. It was echo of her nuptial eve. Only now, if Nia unearthed her, she'd likely attempt murder. Nia invaded the space, still on call. "Yep, Darius, in the chamber, snagging my blue suede coat. Think I ditched it here," she uttered. Lila held breath. She viewed her outline via the slit. She neared the cabinet. "Let's check where that coat's at," she grumbled, seizing the handle. Lila shut eyes and clutched the mace in her pocket, primed to strike. The panel parted. Just then, a blaring klaxon echoed the whole edifice. The blaze alert wailed Max, trailed by a voice urging Sterovac due to fumes on the 12th. No actual fumes. It
was Ka'il who remotely breached the edifice's alert net. Nia jolted, released the cabinet grip, and retreated, cupping ears. "Not now," she moaned, snatching her bag and bolting sans coat recall. Lila heard the entry slam and neighbor rush in hall. She paused seconds, then exited the cabinet, quaking. She dawdled not, seized her satchel with papers, and descended escape stairs, merging with alarmed dwellers. None heeded a masked lady amid mayhem. Out on pavement via side, she spied a dark coupe engine on. She boarded and dumped the satchel on seat. Ka'il unzipped, skimmed contents fast, and beamed content. Bogus visas, hidden union, true alias. This is atomic. We could cage them any time, but per your blueprint, first bankrupt them, he voiced. Lila assented with a searing gaze. She craved not mere cage. She sought to shatter their avarice and hubris, strip all for which they deceived and slew.
In ensuing days, the monetary backlash launched. As rightful heir, she accessed funds Darius ignored. Led by her dad's aged fiscal consultant, a faithful soul, Lila commenced subtly shifting fluid holdings, cash, savings, securities, through minor, timed wires to safe overseas accounts not overtly tied to her to avoid triggering Darius's monitors. To snare Darius, they exploited his greed. Lila knew he yearned to amass for his trading losses and uphold opulent existence with Nia. KL orchestrated via proxies a faux crypto venture in ghost assets in a guarded sector. They crafted slick pamphlets, pitches valuing up to quadruple yields in 6 months. Darius bit prompt. One eve, he arrived elated with a binder. Check this, love. Prime deal. Digital surge. Huge gains. Need your sign as chair to unlock seed from firm vaults. Epic chance to expand your dad's heritage, he informed her. Lila, combing locks before glass with vacant look, faked hesitation. She grasped the stylus he proffered. Sure it's solid? She queried, quivering enough to seem frail. Absolutely, vet it all, trust me, yeah? He pressed hasty. She inked her mark, subtly altering the flourish from norm, so she could allege coercion or fake later. Darius missed the nuance. He fixated on the millions he envisioned flooding his ledger, unaware the funds would vanish to KL's crew, leaving a void fingering him as culprit. Next phase was erode the bond between Darius and Nia. Lila knew a tie rooted in spite meant ill with mistrust. She started planting qualms deftly. One noon, as Nia lotioned in the den, Lila settled adjacent with a scattered air. She appeared lost in musings. "Nee?" "Yes, Lila," she answered sans much glance. Last eve, Darius mumbled asleep again. Does it often now, but yesterday odd. He said stuff like, "Once funds hit, Noah, Tasha?" she asked, mimicking innocence. The lotion nearly slipped from Nia's grasp. Tasha was Darius's old flame name, a long sore for her. Nia forced a chortle. "Oh, misheard for sure. Darius logs out deep. Must have been your weird vision," she countered. Lila shook head softly. "Heard crisp, but perhaps just hallucination. Head tricks me times," she added, rising. She departed, Naya nibbling lip, mind nodded. The doubt seeds sown. That eve, the concealed cams nabbed a fierce spat in the visitor quarters where Naya lodged. She charged Darius with plotting to ditch her, having another, vowing to erase her post funds. Darius, clueless on suspicion origin, raged and berated her paranoia. The clash ended with a panel bang. Lila, from her mattress, viewed the scene on her device with a frosty grin. Seeing foes clash mutually was extra perk. The madness mimic tactic hit peak when Darius opted to hasten his scheme. Burdened by fiscal strain, Naya rose, and, ledger gap, he couldn't linger 3 months. He craved prompt legal oversight of Lila. One morn, he incited a scene. He deliberately shattered a porcelain urn dear to Lila's mom and blamed her for hurling in fury. She hurled self to tile, mimicking a sight crash, sobbing, yelling her mom's name, cowering in nook. The staff gazed appalled at the display. Darius grabbed the chance to dial his attorney and a bribed shrink he prepaid, Dr. Peak Summit. "Doc, my wife's deteriorated, violent spells, threat to self and others. Need you here today for assessment and report to seek oversight." He wailed into line, faking woe. What he ignored was Kyle tapped his lines weeks. Soon as he caught the shrink's name, he acted. Dr. Peak Summit's vehicle halted en route to estate in a jam from a minor faked crash. In lieu arrived another expert, Dr. Harlow, a renowned and upright shrink from Municipal Clinic, with 2 aides from a noted psyche health center. They buzzed the entry with utter formality. Darius, spotting Diff Doc, faltered. "Who are you?" Expected Dr. Peak Summit, he queried wary. Dr. Peak Summit had a small mishap. He begged me sub-urgent, Dr. Harlow clarified, flashing creds. I grasped this key assessment, best not postpone. Darius wavered seconds. Scrapping now meant losing built momentum. Plus, he was sure the chems Lila ingested would have rendered her a psych mess before any. Confident in his toxin, he admitted them. The check occurred in the main quarters. Lila sat mattress edge with tousled locks and seeming vacant stare. Darius, Naya, and attorney lingered aside as observers. Dr. Harlow perched front, recorder ready, and launched basic queries. Name, day, spot, late happenings. Darius curbed a smirk, anticipating Lila to spout nonsense on phantoms and whispers. But to his shock, she ceased swaying, lifted chin, and eyed him lucid. She brushed a lock behind ear and replied resolute. Yes, doc, here fine, no self, no locale, and no why my mate's edgy today, she added, side-glancing Darius. The doc proceeded with mind recall and math trials. Lila nailed each precise, even tough calcs, and relayed recent days' coherent sans gaps. Darius began perspiring. How lucid if she supposedly downed heavy psyche doses. Naya by him balled fists. Post long hour check, Dr. Harlow sealed the binder. Mr. Kane, he said, eyeing the spouse. Per my eval, your wife is sound psych. No signs of deep melancholy, madness or raving, judgment and recall intact. I'll draft report deeming her wholly fit to handle matters. No med ground at all for oversight plea, he rapped. Impossible. She's been dosing, slipped Darius's mouth pre-bite. Dosing what, precise? Queried the doc, furrowing. With calming herb brews? Darius patched awkward. When doc and attorney exited, leaving duo brief solo, Darius was ashen. Lila rose slow, ironed her top, and neared him feline. She bent to his ear and uttered in glacial breath. Your brew tasted shark, Darius. Thus from day one, I've dumped it in that rubber tree soil and refilled with plain brew. Sole thing tainted by your tabs is the plant. Not me, she murmured. Darius's mind crumbled. He resembled ghost sighting. Lila grinned, a grin no more endearing, but deadly. Been performing whole time, and you easiest crowd to dupe. Savor your downfall's start, she appended, pivoting. As she departed, squad cars neared the drive. Kyle had alerted cops on the bogus crypto scam. The snare Darius set to madden her was sealing on him. The peak of all hit at the Thorn Empire Holdings Jubilee Ball in the vast hall of a posh downtown inn. Myriad crystal lamps lit a zone adorned with ivory lilies and silver bows. Officials, elite bosses, reporters, and key funders packed the menu. At ingress,
Layla, in a midnight gown and a subtle velvet shawl pairing, greeted attendees with a cryptic beam. By her was Darius, in fresh, dark suit, face glossy pre-lenses, but spine drenched in chill sweat. Since Dr. Harlow's call, he trod eggshells. He didn't grasp exactly Layla's knowledge or explosion timing. She hadn't ousted him from abode, hadn't ratted instant. She compelled him to sustain CEO role for that Eve presence to uphold facade. Across the venue, Nia sipped tense in a scarlet frock too bold for etiquette. She sensed eyed from every angle. Whispers on her estate stay already swirled. The event kicked with routine talks and a firm clip. Then Layla ascended stage. The buzz hushed. She gripped the mic and spoke clear. Evening all. Thanks for attending this vital day for the firm my dad built on integrity and graft. Tonight, not mere jubilee. Also truth night. When pests invade a home, unseen at start, but gradual, they erode supports. Today, meet the boldest soul this entity had, one who could lift or doom it. My spouse, Darius, she proclaimed. Guests clapped courteous. Darius, deeming public praise, mounted stage with stiff grin. He seized mic and launched talk on tomorrow's site, world trades, and his father-in-law's heritage. He didn't complete the line. Abrupt lights dimmed and venue plunged dark, bar the ray of the huge projector rear. On screen, no graphs or firm vids surfaced, but a clip. Their abode den, nabbed by a concealed cam. Darius and Nia showed on settee, with pricey bubbly, guff-hawing hard. Darius's voice boomed via amps.
Heard saying how simple duping Layla was, she mere weak like her ma, that boosting tab dose suffices to land her in asylum. Nia heard querying if she suspected, and Darius replying, always stage another mishap. Guests froze, shocks echoed everywhere. Reporters zeroed screen, then Darius's face, lit sporadic by vid. It persisted. Vid shifted to paper images, bogus visas under alias Jackson, his real moniker, with Darius's pic, ledger sheets displaying firm fund siphon, civil union pact with Nia, public dissection of his sins. Darius reeled, mic dropping. He eyed Layla stage side, sans single grin with chill executioner mien. All edit, AI fakes, he yelped, sans mic. With shrill, desperate tone lost amid outraged buzzes, he bolted, shoving lensmen and recorders darting to side out. But at escape door, Kale idled, propped casual on wall. Heading where, Jackson? Fest just warming, he bantered. Darius, unhinged, swung fist. Kale evaded strike easy, locked his limb, and pinned him to wall. Seconds, multiple cops already in lunged to halt and brace him. At venue far end, Nia tried salvage. Seeing Darius nabbed, she wailed he coerced her. She, victim, could rat on him for Elias Thorne's slaying. She ratted shameless, but late. Proof pegged her collusion. Undercover cops and lady agents ringed her and hauled her out as she flailed, sobbed, and swore. The Jubilee Ball morphed national outrage. Layla stayed stage, eyeing the duo traitors towed to exit amid bursts and lenses. She felt no ecstatic glee, but profound ease. Yet she knew caged beasts could linger threat. 2 days on, press still swamped with case buzz, but justice had flaws. Despite proof pile for scam and deceit, charge for her dad's slaying needed tardy lab scrutiny. A sly counsel funded by Darius's final stash cash secured high-sec home confine, citing lung issues and vowing aid. Nia lacked same fortune. She stayed in shared cell, and a rate at Darius's deceit began spilling to sleuths, giving more that cinched her paramour's noose. Darius, though free brief from bars, was wrecked. Ledgers iced, opulent rides and pads seized, wealthy pals vanished. He bunked in budget lodge on fringe, dodging press and old trading debt hunters. He deemed self victim of grand wrong, unable to admit all he endured was direct from his deeds. One stormy eve, perched in moist chamber, he swit cheap booze
and eyed an illicit revolver bought with final notes. He knew no border, flight, watched nor craved bar decay. If he tumbled, wanted Layla dragged. Won't let you prevail, Layla, ever, he snarled, stowing the arm and coat before venturing into deluge. At 2 a.m., the Thorne estate slumbered quiet with scant outer glows. Post-outrage guards bolstered, but none knew weak spots better than the guy who mandated old setup. Darius scaled ivy-clad wall segment rear, skirted cam views, jimmied a tiny galley pane with lever, and infiltrated. Gale and rain din masked the shard break. The citrus freshener odor soured his gut, evoking the home no more his. He crept sly to stairs, his goal clear as his hate. Layla's main quarters. But, crossing den, lights flared. Seated in lounger, awaiting, was KL. In regular garb, no doze signs, seemed anticipating. Knew the vermin would return to lair, he remarked serene, hand near belt where he concealed duty arm. Out away, this me and my wife, Darius bellowed, drawing the revolver with quakes. KL rose slow, palms up to not provoke. Done, Darius, cops en route. Nia ratted your spot. Surrender and cease worsening. Damn you, shrieked Darius, squeezing trigger. Blast rang whole abode. KL dove floor, lounger as barrier. Slug skimmed his right limb, blood instant flow. Layla upstairs jarred awake by boom. She dashed to stair top and spied Darius' arm in grip, deranged. Darius! She gasped. Spotting her, he ignored KL. He charged stairs full tilt, heaving and eyes feral. Here, we died joint, Layla, he raved mad. She, terrified, kept wits, didn't bolt to Quarters' lock knowing would frail long. Instead, she dashed to Quarters' veranda, open zone over front lawn. Gust and downpour lashed her as she exited. She retreated till veranda balustrade met her back. Below, lawn gloom and stone stretched deep. Darius emerged at Pame door, drenched, revolver aimed her torso. Axe end, no cams, no shrinks, no badges. Just us, he spat, stepping forth. Thought smarter than me, but still that frail gal. Layla lifted chin, staring direct. Rainwater blended tears she didn't mask. The frail you knew perished the eve she heard your scheme to slay me. The one before you is your direst dread, she retorted sans avert. Darius barked, fractured laugh. Dread? You not a but tro, he began, but unfinished. From rear, reeling, KL surfaced and lunged him. The duo crashed veranda tile, slick from wet. Revolver flew corner. They locked savage brawl, swapping hits, tumbling side to side. KL, sapped by bleeding limb, began fading. Darius, insane and adrenaline-fueled, battled beastly, gnawing and stomping wound. With fierce thrust, Darius freed and scrabbled to where Revolver landed by Planter. KL tried rise, but power failed. "Layla, bolt!" he yelled, but she stayed. Saw Darius grasp arm, rising with it. If she fled, KL instant mark. Something ignited in her. She recalled KL's quick defense lesson, base hits. Recalled her folks, recalled the quaking lass and wardrobe, and vowed never again. As Darius half rose, pre-aim, Layla charged and unleashed front boot all might. Heeled to Darius's gut, then shoved his arm. Drenched on wet slabs and unbalanced, he slipped, reeled back on low veranda rail he insisted minimalist, and plunged void. "Lael!" he howled as body dropped. A thud, harsh noise heard when he struck first KL's coupe roof, parked below, then rolled to smash stone path. Revolver discharged air wild pre-landing distant. Odd hush post-crash. Soul rain patter filled. Layla stood still, clutching rail, panting. She peered down. Darius's form lay twisted on stones, scarce stir. Not dead, coupe softened some impact, but one limb clearly smashed. KL rose effort, stood by her, good hand on her shoulder. "Well done, Layla," he breathed. Pre-slumping from fatigue, distant wails neared. Blue-red gleams reflected facade. A lord's fall caused by the lady he underrated. Minutes on, abode teemed with badges and medics. As they tended KL and prepped Darius for chain transport to lockup clinic, Layla descended entry. She watched her mate, once loved, mud-soaked and bloody, wailing pain as officers braced his shattered limb for gurney. Not left of the suave charmer who roamed elite halls. Mere beaten felon. Layla neared underpour to gurney edge. A badge aimed to block, but she eyed firm and he yielded. She lifted palm and slid wedding band off slow. Felt metal chill last before dropping it on Darius's torso. The tiny ting hitting his buttons echoed their minds. "Keep it," Layla voiced icy. "Deem it my final mercy. Pawn for smokes or cup noodles at lockup store. 'Cause from today, no thorn dollar touches you. Your name wiped from this kin's tale." Darius eyed her wide. Wanted to spew slurs, damn her, but words lodged. In her eyes he saw novel. Sheer terror. The guy ever deeming control now faced a lady who outlasted all he tried. As they loaded him in wagon, elsewhere in town, fate nabbed Naya too. Post short bail free, she aimed border flee with bogus visa. Ticket to no return land. But border nets had her face and marks red flagged. At airport auto gate, sirens blared. Seconds, agents ringed her. She screeched, claimed expecting, pled leniency, but ended wrists bound, filmed by scores of mobiles. Her nab vid viral, same as Darius's plunge. Back at estate when wagon with Darius and squads departed amid wails, poor eased. Layla stayed porch eyeing lights fade. Kale, limb wrapped, emerged by her. Said zilch. Presence sufficed.
She side-eyed him. Hurt bad? She queried guiltily. He sketched weary grin. Barely scratches your month's torment. Limb mends weeks. Your soul bit longer. Layla assented. First in ages, she drew breath sans chest crush. She inhaled damp soil, post-gale fresh. That was liberty's scent. 6 months on, seasons shifted, so Layla's existence. Justice, tardy, finally struck hard. Darius and Naya's hearing was press darling. In jammed court, Darius wheeled in. Limb never full heal, part from lockup brawls he sparked, and part neglect. Gaunt with early silver. By him, Naya barefaced, lackluster and unknown. Judge stern. Lab-proof affirmed yacht engine rig. Cash wires, Layla taint plot. From deceit. Arm attempt slay. Verdict crisp. Eternal lockup both sans release. Naya exploded yells, berating Darius, judge, all as hauled. Darius mere bowed head as mute drops hit lop. Unclear if remorse or ire tears, but irrelevant. Lost liberty, rank, wealth, even mere self. Lifetime to dwell on deeds. Exiting court, press swarmed Layla. This round, she didn't evade lenses. In sharp jacket, chic wrap, calm mien. She fielded queries steady, clarifying focus now helm Thorn Holdings transparent, and boost aid plans for her folks' memory. Not victim. She viewed self outlaster and guide. Under her, firm bloomed. She cleared board of Darius's allies, hired skilled loyal. Bolstered inner checks. In trade world, dubbed Steel Dame of Thornrealm. Tough, yet kind. One dusk, office exit. Instead home direct, she drove to leafy graveyard fringe. Sky-tinted tangerine and lavender. She trod gravel trail with 2 white rose bunches. Halted pre 2 graves neat. Ebony stone markers bore her folks' names. She knelt, set blooms and traced etched names fond. Mom, Dad, done. She breathed. They atoned for us harm. Firm secure, me too. Rest easy. Thou all guard your build. Gentle gusts stirred her wrap like unseen pat. Layla shut eyes and let moments calm wrap her. They'd beam proud, voiced familiar tone rear. Layla turned and spied Kale, more polished than norm, in sky tee and slacks sans old denim coat. Arm mark scarce under cuff. Here long? She queried, rising. Just arrived. Brought this, he replied, lifting translucent binder.
Case shut, Doc. Official. No more need detective aid. She took binder, but sans scanning papers? Eyed him. So, farewell. Our work tie ends. Nah, he voiced with half grin. Kale paused instant, rare for him. Tie between transcended job. He rubbed nape, edgy. Tech, yes, but here Thorn Holdings seeks trust sec head. And oddly, pondering quit, shadows. Craves steady gig, he noted. Layla let clean, airy chortle. What coincidence? Though role demands high, she teased. Sec head a they'll near round clock and perhaps bear work supper with me weekend. Kale grinned wide, smile youthening and less daunting. Fit that, specially supper bit, he retorted. They lingered mute, sunset gazing. No love or tomorrow vows talk. Layla shunned hasty yield again. Both knew their bond needed slow build on faith and span, not trauma rush. But in Kale's gaze and calm by him, future seemed bright. That eve, Layla home to estate, finally true haven. Ascended main quarters, she full revamped. Walls pale, pieces shifted, no Darius trace. She neared new fitted wardrobe, parted panels and eyed her pro suits meet. Recalled scared lash shrunk in a kin wardrobe rear, quaking while absorbing doom via clip. That seemed other era. She neared dresser, parted small box, and drew dark card, Kale's old. Eyed moment and grinned pre-stowing. Wouldn't ditch, reminder she plunged deep, but rose too. She sealed wardrobe panels, decisive snap. Dimmed glows, bar bed lamp, and reclined. Tucked in, shut eyes, and first in eons, dozed sans dread of no wake, sans fear of taint or night assault. The portal to her history with shades and hurt, sealed final. Beyond, fresh life dawned. If you reached here, you grasped the toll Layla bore for deceit. Now,
I urge subscribe, like, and comment what you do her shoes. Thus, I'll know you crave more shadowy tales like this, and next might hit sooner than you dream.